Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
Okay. So today we are going to contemplate over Shloka number 17. In the previous Shloka, we had Devi's form in the form of Aruna. Today's Shloka. Savitri bhirvacham shashimani shilabhangaruchibhi vashinyadhyabhi tvam sahajanani sanchintayatiyaha. This is the action. And then result is sakarta kavyanam bhavati mahatam bhangi subhagai vachobhir vagdevi vadan kavala moda madhurai. The first two lines describe the method or kind of contemplation if we put our awareness on Devi in this form. Second two lines describe what is the result of it. How do we see Devi? How do we internalize that aspect of Shakti? In what form? In which sound? These are the two basic principles through which Shakti represents itself. In the beginning, it begins with a spanda, which is in the form of a sound. Then the next best manifestation is at the level of a rupa, which is of form, color. So these are the two best manifestations, sound and vision. When we talk of sounds, then Devi can exhibit initially into different aspects of vocal vocabulary, the letters, etc., which we call swara vyanjan, vowels and consonants, and then associated words, mantras, combinations. This is how Devi expresses itself in the sound. In the form also, we have seen that two extremes between black and white. We also have seen red or orange. Close by we have yellow, and so on and so forth. So it all began with white, then we moved to red, and now again we are moving to white. This is white means transparent white. The aspect of Devi here is transparent, right? Freshly cut moonstones. They are transparent, yet they reflect white. They are translucent, if you can say so. So it's a mix of pure energy along with the sattva. Sattva means white. Transparency means direct contact of Shakti. This is the aspect of Devi where you are in direct contact with the primordial Shakti along with its hue of Sattva. If you pay attention to this form of Devi along with its assistants, servants, those are called Vashini, etc. These are the aspects of Devi which are at the lower pedestal. Everything is Devi, but Devi expresses itself and finally expresses at Tattva. 5 Tattvas, right? Even this word Tattva should also, I think I have already explained. Tat means that, Tva means thatness. Tva means thatness. For the word is Kavi, Kavitva. You have a word Kavi, Kavitva. You have a word Jada, Jadatva. You have similarly Tva is a prefix, is a suffix. So this suffix brings out the qualities denoted by the first word. In certain aspect of that is present then we say Tva. Right? Jada means inert, Jadatva means the property of being Jada. That means her or him, whatever you consider that ultimate source of creation to be. Thatness is Tattva. Tat Tvam Asi. Again, the same thing. Tat means that, Tvam means you, Asi mane is or are, that you are. So the Devi becomes in Adi Daivik world, it becomes many. And then again it consolidates into 5. And these 5 becomes, and the driver of these 5s are many. These tattvas are being driven by many cosmic forces. Right? So each and every deity, each and every manifestation of Devi is controlling the tattva. Or rather, she is controlling herself, because tattva, it is that only. So the whole world is a cosmic play of Devi, by this understanding. And as we go deeper into understanding, we do see that it is self-driven. Nobody drives it. The whole process of science is to try to reach out to that root cause of this universe. What drives it? What creates it? What sustains it? What destroys it? What rules govern it? But it's difficult. So far also you have seen, it is too difficult for us to reach out to that conclusion wherefrom we said we have gotten hold of that cause. It is beyond intellect. It is beyond all your logic. Right? It is beyond your powers of perception. It is beyond the powers of your antakarana. It is reflected in antakarana. That's it. So you have the reflection of that in antakarana. Now further, she is antakarana. So how can you find it out? It is her aspect which has become antakarana. So how can you find out the cause in the cause? The cause of this world seems to be our chittam, from where this world seems to be emanating or getting reflected upon. And we are trying to understand every impression which falls on this. If we start questioning this very nature of our knowing, then every query has gone for a toss. Because in that case, you are trying to investigate your own existence. Your own existence is Chidananda Swarupa, which we understood in our Dhyana Sutras. Chid Ananda. Chid means knowing. And what is the direct result of knowing is Ananda. Now, if you have any doubt about your own existence, then this question can be solved. Do you have any doubt that I exist or I don't exist? If you have any question about it, then investigation can be made. Otherwise, all the investigation is based on this assumption and experience that I exist. And this your own existence is her own presence. Your existence is her presence. So there is no possibility of finding out the cause of your own existence, because your existence is her presence. That is why Devi, in the form of Tattva, in the form of Panchamahabhutas, is capable of carrying out billions and trillions of tasks. Why? Because there are billions and trillions of manifestations at the Adi Daivik world. You see, there are only 5 tattvas which do many jobs. Multiple things they do. They are capable of creating an insect, to a venomous snake, to an elephant, to a whale, to the habitat in which they live, oceans, deserts, farmlands, space, whatnot. So every aspect is created by some cosmic force, right? And in our own self, whatever capacities we have gotten, they are also the aspects of Devi. For example, Chit Shakti, Chit Shakti is that Shakti from where you come to know of your own existence. Understand? Chit Shakti is that capacity of Devi manifested in your being through which you come to know of your own existence, and Jnana Shakti is that aspect of hers through which you come to know of something other than you existing. All are her aspects, all are her manifestations. So, Chit Shakti means in which Jnana Shakti is also reflected, Ichha Shakti is also reflected, Kriya Shakti is also reflected. Everything is into your knowing. Even your Jnana, you know about your Jnana. The process of knowing something is the process of Jnana, but experiencing that Jnana separate from you, that means there is an experiencer of Jnanam or knowledge, is another aspect of yours, which is Chit Shakti. Understood? You know as well as you know that you know. Now that second statement, when I say you know that you know, I'm referring to Chit Shakti. You know, I'm referring to Jnana Shakti. You desire to know your Ichha Shakti. You desire to take an action based upon your knowing is Kriya Shakti. And the result of interaction of this knowing with your Chit Shakti, Ananda Shakti. Okay. On that substratum of Ananda, the upward ripples, you may say that they are called as Sukha, lower word amplitude may be called as Dukkha. But it is the ripple on the Ananda only. You may say so that Ananda has gotten disturbed. No. On the screen of Ananda, one extreme of illumination is called Sukha, another is called Dukkha. One is called pain, another is called pleasure. But behind that, everything you know. Now, what aspect of Devi where here we are discussing, it is beyond that, which means transparent. Correct? Transparent means through and through you are able to connect with Devi, the Shakti, the supreme power, the cause of manifestation. And how can you connect with that? You can connect with that only by becoming transparent. It simply means that. How do you become transparent? By dissolving your own identity or your own perceived ego. Being seated at the root level of your own, which is Purusha, you get access to this state of experience, which is beyond Prakriti. Prakriti is the root cause of everything else which follows it. Right? Even Ahankara, which is based in, which is rooted in, which has seeds in Prakriti. And Prakriti has three aspects, Sattva, Raja, Tamasa. The most appropriate place to transcend the Prakriti is known as Sattva. Next is Tamasa. From both the states you can transcend. It is very difficult to transcend from Rajasa. Because Rajasa is anyways the process of creating multiplicity, your engagement, process of procreation, process of your expansion. So in the seed form, when you reach at Prakriti, then you have another aspect which is called Sattva. You start from Rajas, you reach to Sattva. How do you become Sattvic in your approach? By not living to your desires, but only by living to your needs. Not living by the agenda of fulfilling your senses, rather living by a purpose of serving everyone, considering them to be part of your own being. That is how Sattva is adopted. Not having any aversion towards any good or bad, attraction towards good, aversion towards bad. That will give you access to Sattva. Sattva does not mean that you reject bad, accept good. The pure sattva, as we have also studied in case of our consciousness levels, where we say that sattva will also be of three types of sattva, rajasic sattva, tamasic sattva. Correct? Tamas will also be like that. Tamasic tamas, sattvic tamas, and rajasic tamas. Rajas will also become like that. Rajasic rajas, sattvic rajas, and tamasic rajas. So what is sattvic sattva? That is what I am discussing. Why? Because rajasic sattva and tamasic sattva are going to further make it difficult for you to transcend this sattva. So from sattvic sattva you can transcend. From the element of sattva in everything, you will be elevated higher. That means sattvic sattva will make you transcend this reality of Prakriti. Rajasic sattva will make you transcend rajas and enter into sattva. Tamasic sattva will also help you in moving towards rajas. Understood? So the element of sattva is common. However, it is important for us to understand what sattvic sattva is. Sattvic sattva is this, where we don't live by our own aspirations and desires and expectations and choices like this is good, this is bad. This I accept, this I reject. I like this, I don't like this. I love the company of great people, but I hate to be in the company of dacoits. Everywhere I'm fine. That is sattvic sattva. Understand? And you would see, you go to places in India, and most of the great saints, rishis, yogis, you will find they are living in most of the jungles, etc. The places which are far off from normal day-to-day activities. And there you will find, especially those in the jungle side, I personally seen, in the ashrams or in the whatever kutia, whatever little cottage they have, you will find dacoits and saints equally being welcomed. They never reject any. I'll give you example of my Param Gurudev from the Parampara of Tantra, the Gurudev of Adya Prasad Ji, who used to live near Mumbai in Lonavala. Long back. And there was one smuggler who used to visit him. Actually, when Param Gurudev established his kutia, his little hut there, he became apprehensive of the fact because it was his area, that is smuggler's area. This fellow first doubted that he is from CID. So one day, he along with his two gunmen went to him, Gurudev. He said, "Are you a CID?" He said, "Jo hu tumhare samne hu, whatever I am in front of you." He did not answer it directly, whether I am or I am not. Then this fellow started scolding him. He said, "Tell me right away." Pointing the gun, loaded gun. Gurudev asked, "Otherwise?" Say, "Otherwise I will kill you." He said, "You don't have a bullet which can kill me." Then he got very much annoyed and started shooting one after another. All the bullets finished. Okay? Every bullet fired, but only to misfire. And all became, dhua, smoke only. Then he recognized that this person had said, "You don't have a bullet which can kill me." So he fell down at his feet. He said, "Gurudev, I understood you are not CID, but how will I go now? The police would be outside. How will I face? I don't have a single bullet." So he said, "Don't worry. All your bullets are intact. Go and test." Just to check that the validity of this, he went out, loaded one, and fired. It fired. He came back again with all his accomplishment. Swamiji, I would like to keep coming in to take your darshanam. He says, you are always welcome. All his life, this fellow used to come to have darshanam of Maharajji. So that is how it happens. In such places, there is no rejection of tamas, no rejection of bad also. That is sattvic sattva. If your sattva is, I only eat vegetarian, I do this, I do puja, I get up at 4 o'clock, I do my sandhya, I wear only cotton, I do this, I do that, and then at the end of it, if something is taken away from you, from that series of list, you feel annoyed. Or something is added which is not to your liking, you get annoyed. This is not sattvic sattva. This is tamasic sattva. Understood? This is tamasic sattva. Although you might be practicing everything pertaining to sattvic lifestyle, but you are obsessed with it. You have an inertia there. You are not ready to change there. You are not ready to drop something. You're not ready to accept anything new. That is what we mean when we say sattvic sattva. From sattvic sattva, you can transcend Prakriti and reach your own state of luminance, self-luminance, which is called Purusha. Now, with all our addendums and the day-to-day engagements, the way we have trained ourselves now, the way we are engaged with life, the way we think there are so many things called my things in this world, so many people tagged with my people in the world, it is not possible for us to reach this. Vairagya is the only state through which you will achieve that sattvic sattva, where everyone is yours or nobody is yours. These are the two extremes, right? So when everybody is yours, will lead you to the sattvic sattva. Nobody is yours will lead you to rajasic sattva. So depending on if everybody is yours and every person is well accepted as your own being, as your own child, as your own brother, you don't hate anyone. You don't judge anyone, right? Do you kill a monkey for being a monkey? No, you don't. Do you kill a tortoise for being a tortoise because he is slow? You don't hate a spider for being a spider. So how can you hate a person being the person, whatever he or she is? Tell me. You don't want monkeys to become intelligent to start reading Gita. You don't expect lions to start becoming vegetarian. So why you insist that a particular person around you should behave in a particular way? They are like that. You must respect and be with them as they are without any urge to correct them. Understand? This is our biggest shackle. सबसे बड़ा खूंटा है दूसरों को बदलना, trying to change others who are around us. अशक्यानुष्ठान भी है. It is impossible undertaking. Nobody has ever succeeded in changing anybody else. This is our intellect. Our intellect is that we hate someone for being that, what he or she is. We want to correct them. We want to correct their ways. This is not the way to live in this world. The way to live in this world is not to distinguish between good and bad. At least you must distinguish between good and bad. You must distinguish, but that does not mean you have lesser, love and compassion for someone. You have an aversion for someone. For the needs, whatever you do, it's not your karma. For the desires, whatever you do is going to become your karma. With that much load of karma, it is not possible to go beyond ahankara. Your ahankara is sum total of all your karma. Your ahankara is sum total of all your accomplishments and failures. And your accomplishments and failures depend on what did you want from your life. What did you attempt to do? And whatever we want and whatever we attempt, we have insistence for that. So all your ego is created because of your insistence in life. When insistence fails, you take it upon yourself, you crystallize in another aspect of your being. You say, I have accumulated something out of that event. That event has gotten accumulated inside now as a form of failure. I'm not able to get rid of my actions anymore. If I succeed, then I take the ownership. Again, I attach it to my being. Right or not? Then that also becomes part of my own ego. So my endeavors in this world, where I insist whether I succeed or fail, will become the part of my ego. And with this kind of ego, it is not possible to transcend the Prakriti, because ego cannot be transcended. Forget about Prakriti. Understand? So if you wish to connect to Devi, if you wish to connect to that primordial Shakti, you have to reach to that, at least moderately to that level where you have stopped being driven by your desires and expectations, likings and dislikes. Whether you have moved beyond your insistence, you don't insist anymore, though you are fully aware of what is right, what is not, what is advisable, what is not. But based on the response, reactions, and outcomes, you don't accumulate them to your own being. Right? So when you get rid of your bhuta, then Panchamahabhuta will work for your liberation. You drop your bhuta, Panchamahabhuta is the tattva, thatness. Thatness is there only to, for your release from this bondage. Thatness is here only to make you cognizant of the fact, cognizant of the truth who you are. Thatness is here only to support you in your query of who you are. But thatness, which is now, is impacted and impeded by what you had collected in the past. That past, that bhuta, is creating a lot of obstacles in the workings of Panchamahabhuta. So that bhuta which intervenes or obstructs or creates obstacles in the working of Panchamahabhuta first creates a dis-ease in us, which is responsible for creating diseases. That is also something which you should become aware of. My past creates disease. You'll say, if I was born with certain disease, of course you have infinite past. So don't blame it on this life itself. If you don't have past in this life, does not mean that you are not having any past. So your past creates your diseases. And these diseases, you see now what is happening. This bhuta is interacting or impeding the workings of Panchamahabhuta, creating a disease and now creating another entanglement to go beyond the body. Forget about going beyond Antahkara. Forget going beyond your ego. Understood what I mean? If you are having a problem with your body all the time, then it is definitely for you to pay a lot of attention towards it. That means a lot of attention, lot of awareness will be invested in this aspect, is it not? So another aspect would be to completely surrender this, whatever it is, and move on, because there would be a way out anywhere. It is your choice to entangle yourself in this play, in this ease, disease, or pleasant and unpleasant things. One way is to dissociate yourself from body. Stop, denounce being the body. Then whatever be the condition of your body, you can start working on your antahkara. But from that day onwards, when you decide, when you leave this body to its own state, in the hands of the tattvas, your bhuta should not intervene any further. It will be taken care of. But if you carry your bhuta also and then say, I have denounced my body, you have not denounced it. Not at all. So that means drop your past. And the first thing which is taught in the sannyasa, first thing which happens at the level of deeksha, by giving you a new name, giving you a new dress, giving you a new place to live, is what? Drop your past. Whatever you were, whatever you did, you are free from that. You are no more that. Nothing binds you. You start your journey with a clean slate. So any day you wish to connect to Mother Divine's energies, your whole effort should be to come out of your past, rather burn your past to ashes right away, right here. Become free of your past, and the goddess is there to welcome you. Goddess is there to assist you in your healing, in your elevation of consciousness, in your journey of self-recognition. Now, after you have been able to achieve this, further positive actions are required from us. Targeted actions are required. What is it? Last time also, I think I discussed about the power of speech. And I said that whatever best you can create in this world is dependent on how you speak, what you speak, the way you speak and what you speak. It depends a lot on that. And in that, it was said, Kavindranam Cheta, it was said that you become a Kavi, you become a poet, your expressions are poetic, and your poetic expressions are full of beauty, splendor, rasa, which definitely impacts the listener. You are being judged for two things I had taught about it. Either you are judged for your right words or you are judged for your silence, the two extremes. So use your words wisely, poetically, efficiently, with lot of beauty and aesthetic behind it. You are respected. And the next, either be silent. Silence is also respected. I explained that. Now look at it. What are we saying here? We are saying that having dropped your past, if you approach your deity, if you approach your divine mother, she is ready to take you in her lap, work with you, take care of yours, and give you that sense of vicinity, she being in vicinity with you. That is the first thing you will understand. In what way she expresses herself? In the form of sound and vision. Will she present herself in the form I am aspiring to have a vision for? Will she say the things I'm eager to listen to? That's one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is that whole your life you had been only struggling to see things around in a particular way. You had been struggling to listen to few words all your life. Your eyes have gone dry. Your ears are getting deaf. You have not been able to hear what you wanted to hear. You have not been able to see what you wanted to see. Yes or no? So that means suddenly you will start seeing beauty around you. Suddenly you will start seeing fulfillment around you. Your eyes, which were not able to see what was present in front of you as the blessing of hers, you will start recognizing it. And you will be able to see the beauty which is already present in your life. Second, you will also be able to listen what is being said. Whatever falls on your ears, you will see the value of it. You will recognize if certain things are falling on your ears, they are meant for you. You deserve to listen to that. You deserve to internalize it and assimilate and contemplate over it and do something here rather than respond there or react there. Understand? So anything which is coming to you in the form of sight and sound, please remember, this is what you are. This is what is your requirement. Ma Bhagwati is not falling short of doing her duty. She is doing all the time what is supposed to be heard by you. She is offering whatever you're supposed to see. To come out of your shackles, go beyond your ordinariness and move towards the extraordinary. She is doing her job. Only you are failing Why? Because you think that this particular sentence, this particular statement, this kind of treatment is coming from a person, failing to recognize that the whole cosmic creation and the activity is governed by her. Whatever is coming to me, it is planned by her. Whatever I see around me, whether good or bad, ugly or beautiful, expected, unexpected, it is for me, personally for me, to assimilate, absorb, contemplate, and get over for my own growth. This is what Ma Bhagavati is consistently doing with all of us. But we fail to recognize this, and then we start blaming her also. If she is doing everything in our life, how can you say that she has never ever told you what you are supposed to do to make better your life? I am sure she, in many forms, in many ways, must have come to you and whispered in your ears or yelled at you that this is what you need to change. Whether you heard it or not, it was she who was yelling there. It was she who was whispering there. So if we become aware of this particular thing, that everything is being controlled by her, it is her Leela, it is her samsara, and then nothing is not a thing which I deserve. You will always get what you deserve. You'll always get what you are supposed to work on. Having arrived at this understanding and this attitude where you have started recognizing this world as a play of Ma Bhagavati, or rather she herself being spread here in front of you, in your body, in your being, in your capacities, in this world. Where are you away from her? Where is this knowing away from this known? Because all that is known is she. And all the powers we have to know is she. Where is she away from you? You are already in the oceanic presence of hers. Now with this attitude, the kind of feeling which you people gotten into for a moment or so, if this remains, if this sustains, then already in her loka. Loka means experience, her experience. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do any sadhana. You don't require any japa. You don't require any anushthan. You only require this state of your consciousness to sustain. This understanding to sustain. If your faith is like that, I'll be taken care of today and tomorrow. Like sun is going to be rising from east tomorrow, in the same way, all the time I am being taken care of and I am experiencing her always. It is nothing but her all around. If this is your understanding, where is the problem? Tell me. This is the place from where you can say, I have done what was supposed to be done. I have known what was supposed to be known. I have arrived where I was supposed to arrive. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to achieve. We're already enjoying. This state of bliss is what we are aspiring for. And this state of bliss, we are already in, by the way. The only difference is in our perceived distance between the goal and wherever we are. We're only mistakenly perceived this distance is separating us from Ma Bhagavati's presence and our own being. Now, stay in this position for 10-20 seconds and recognize, truly I have nothing to do. Truly I have nowhere to go. Truly I am completely satisfied. Truly I don't want to know anything more. There's nothing to be known. You all might have experienced it for a second or two, for a few extended seconds, for a few extended moments, but the problem between a sadhaka and siddha is this only. The difference is this only. A siddha remains in this state always, 24/7. And sadhaka achieves it temporarily in satsangs, in his endeavor of rituals, in that state of having achieved some sankalpam, fulfillment of a sankalpa. But it is always there. She is never away. Now, what is supposed to be done? Suppose you have already worked on yourself and you have at least loosened the grip of your ahankara. You have started recognizing your ahankara. Recognizing what is your ahankara is something what is needed first. Who am I? The I which I know as myself, or the I who knows me as myself? Who am I? That I which I know as myself, as an object, as a person. You know yourself as that, right or not? And mostly you operate from that only. It's only that when I'm questioning who are you, then only you are trying to see this difference. Then only this difference emanates. Yes, I am the one who knows who am I. Right? I know who am I. Yes or no? And that I which says I know who am I, mostly it will be about that objective self which you know yourself as to be. Yes or no? I know I am Rajiv. Okay. Rajiv knows himself as Rajiv, or someone else knows himself as, or someone knows that I am Rajiv. So you will see there is another entity, a deeper awareness in me which knows myself as Rajiv. That deeper self is me, not the Rajiv. And most of the time what is happening, I am operating being Rajiv, not that self which knows my being as Rajiv. Yes or no? Right or not? Right or not? So for that being which knows yourself as Rajiv, tell me, what is his aspiration? What is his desire? I can tell you his desire is nothing. He only knows everything. He also sees you getting worried. He also sees you getting to the success. He also sees you getting to failures. He also sees getting stress. He also sees you. Everything, whatever you are, whatever you have achieved, whatever you aspire for, everything he knows. But he doesn't desire anything. That I doesn't desire anything. That I, if you get back to, you find you have no desires. All the desires are of Rajiv. This I doesn't desire. You know why? Why not? Because it is Chidananda Swarupa. It is experiencing bliss in its own experience of knowing. It has no desire. And I can tell you, you have no desire only if you know yourself that way. And you know yourself that way means you are already that way. The only difference is you are unable to create this experience of self while you are engaged in this world. And suppose you start living in this state of knowing and awareness of self, which you are truly, frankly speaking, no desires. Nothing to worry about. There is never a sense of a loss, and there is never a sense of any gain. So you see, the whole sadhana for everybody, this is lifetime sadhana for you. To recognize that state of yours, to recognize that self which is knower of everything, that center in you, all lifetime endeavor is to operate from there, this space, this state of consciousness, where you are the knower of your own self as an object. Now, why I'm coming to this again and again? Because this is the prerequisite for this mantra, this shloka. You knowing yourself as pristine, one-to-one, no nothing, transparently you know yourself, and translucently also you know yourself as sattva. So there are two things which are to be done. One, knowing yourself in your pristine state, and this knowing does not require anything. It's only putting your attention to who you are. That's it. It does not require any effort. It's the most effortless effort. You don't have to put any effort to recognize who you are. A little bit of training, a little bit of calmness of mind, a little bit of disengagement with life, little bit of vairagya will put you to this state. It may be for a small duration, it may be for a moment, it may be for a second, it may be for a few seconds, but you will recognize it. There is no doubt about it. It will happen because you are being blessed. Understand this. It will happen because it is experienced only by those who are blessed. It does not happen to each and everyone. Go and talk to others. But socho main kaun hu hai, socho ki tum alag ho. To he will say, no, I don't experience it that way. Please understand. This doesn't happen to everyone. Go and talk. If you want that, I would give this gyan to everybody because it's so easy. Self-recognition is so easy. Then you'll find that no, it is not possible. Not all can recognize this. This recognition, this power of cognition comes by connecting to the higher sources of wisdom. This connects with your own power of sadhana, your own practice, your own purification, your persistence, and then Guru Kripa, Bhagavad Kripa, all that is needed. Even to experience this for a second. If you have experienced it for a second and also experienced the joy of being there, what stops you from going there again and again? That's only our compulsive habit, right? And our unfinished agendas in this world. By appropriate thinking, your unfinished agenda can become finished right away. And all our endeavors will be time pass. Why? Because if you recognize all your endeavors are to go to a state of ananda, which I already feel, what is the point there? It's only for time pass. I'm doing it. Good. Go do it. I'm not asking you to sit idle. Do it. But fully recognizing this is not needed to make me blissful or anand, give me any sort of ananda. I'm already in ananda. All these things I do is my expression of my ananda. In this state, occasionally, if you're able to operate in this particular way, then this shloka is for you. For such a person, what he says, Savitri bhirvacham shashimani shila bhangaruchibhi vashinnadyabhistvam sahajanani sanchintayatiyah. Now, such a person, knowing himself fully as that expression or the child of Mother Divine, without anything coming in between, transparently you know yourself. That's the transparency aspect. And then you fully know what is the world in translucent aspect. Why it will be translucent? Because you also see there is permeation, this permeation of this source, who you are, into everything. Everything is known within yourself, not outside yourself. That means you are present in your knowing also. You are present in your knowledge also. Anything which comes into your own periphery comes to be known. For example, today our awareness has not gone so deep into the cosmic space which is around us that we are unaware of many galaxies, maybe many stars, but as the awareness will reach there, they will come within our knowledge. Our awareness has not gone there. Now we will use upakaranas, because karanas are not taking us there. We will use upakaranas to extend our awareness. And once they become well within the periphery of our consciousness, our knowing, our own being, they will be known to us. Right? So what we are doing here, we are expanding ourselves, right? In bits and pieces, step by step, right? Why? Because we are focusing on objects. Otherwise, just drop the objects and try to assess to what extent you are present around you. You'll say limitless, infinite. So if your own presence of this subtle awareness which you are, or what you call the light of your awareness, expands till infinity, whether it illuminates anything or not, that's another point. Let me come to another example here. When I say Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, how many times I have said it? 3 times I have chanted this. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. Now it has become 3 because in between there was nothing. There was silence. Right? These words, this combination of words are now perceived as the three different chunks, words, existence of words, populated by silence. If this silence is not there, you cannot identify it as 3. Correct? Correct or not? Now, so if I ask you, what did you hear? You reply, I heard you saying 3 times Jai Shri Ram. Is it not? But I'll say, you missed it. You also heard 2 times of silences. But do you focus there? That means when there was no word and silence, silence means what? Absence of words. Yes. That means you are hearing, but there is nothing to hear. Okay. So hearing is not happening. So why should we say we are hearing? Then what is there? I am there in between. Jai Shri Ram, I appear. Jai Shri Ram, I appear. Jai Shri Ram. So in between words, who is there? I am there. Now in between the words I am there, of course when the words present themselves, I am there. So that means I am there all through. Yes or no? See, when I say I am hearing, of course this hearing is my extension. I am there. If I am not hearing, then the hearing is not happening, but I am there. So that means if I start investigating who am I and what is my consciousness, to what limit it is extended, I say I am extended till infinity. I don't see any end to it. Do you see any end to your own being? If I ask you, close your eyes and find out till what space you are aware. I don't know. It seems to be endless. Okay. So in this endless being of yours, now this endless presence of your consciousness is illuminating objects also. If you become interested in objects, then you would say, well, I know till this object that the world exists. But ask yourself, do you exist well beyond these objects? Yes, you do. Whether you focus your attention toward these objects or not, whether you know of these objects or not, but these objects are well within you, right or not? So for the rishis and yogis, they never needed these binoculars to find out what is around. Why? Because for them, they could experience themselves to the whatever limits they wanted, and they have experienced themselves probably. I'm not talking of the rishis who have come to the understanding Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. I'm talking of a lesser grade. Those lesser grades have experienced this world to that extent of that cosmic band which is available in our skies, what we call the bands in which 27 nakshatras are there. They know each and everything about every nakshatra. Forget about nakshatra. They know each and everything pertaining to what each pada of nakshatra is supposed to be doing. Understood now? So I'm talking of Jyotish here now. So that means how do you understand about these nakshatras? By extending your vision and observing it for years. And then also probably you will end up doing certain calculation mistake or maybe observation mistake, and then may not be able to find out what is the exact path and what are these special and what are the special characteristics of these. But think about it. If a person extends his own consciousness and he starts experiencing his consciousness, then anything falling in it, anything appearing in it is known. Known because it is your own being. You know your heart beating, yes, you know, yes. You know your lungs are moving, yes. You know your vayus moving, yes. In the same way, you know the stars. Not only that much, you also know what it is supposed to be doing. And that is how whole Jyotish comes. So look at it. When we say we know the objects, we are missing. When we know the vacuum, we know only the absence of objects, we are missing. In every space we are present. If we know, then we know. This is what it means when I say you have to know yourself, transparently know yourself, and then every opacity which is experienced around, that is including your own body and support, whatever objective ego you are carrying with yourself is also opaque, right? Because it is also illuminated at the surface. The property of opacity is that something is reflected right at the surface. That is what opacity means. Transparency means nothing is obstructing in between, right? Rather, fully transparent thing can never be seen. You see only because of opacity. Transparency cannot be seen. You see because there is something which is obstructing your seeing. The forms are those manifestations of the same space which become obstruction in your vision. Obstructions in your vision is objects. And wherever there is no obstruction, that is space. Space is sound, object is form. If you recognize these two as your own manifestation, where is the problem? Then you have understood what was to be understood. If you start operating in this band of consciousness, then what do? You start contemplating onto translucent things, which are these. This translucency is now being presented. Earlier, there was no translucency. Either it was radiant red or white. You remember? It was radiant red or white. Now, for the first time, it is translucency. Means you can see through also sometimes. It's a way of telling you that you must raise your awareness to that extent where you see you permeating yourself, you yourself getting permeated into objects as well, right? So once you achieve this state, and in that state, you are writing something. What qualities you acquire? It is said, Sakarta kavya nam bhavati mahatam bhangi subhagai. Vachobhir vag devi vadan kamala mod madhure. What happens is, such a person becomes capable of creating epics. So epic like Mahabharata, epic like Ramayana, they are the outcome of such a wisdom, such a vision. And the sweetness of it is felt. So this is what it means. So when you become aware of such presence of your own being into the cosmic fabric, you become aware of so many cosmic rules, so many things which are eternally existing, and your own words capture it to present it to the world in the most poetic form. A poetic expression is Srimad Bhagavatam. That poetic expression is Ramacharita or the poetic expression is Valmiki Ramayana. Perspective, the real understanding, is gained by such rishis who have contemplated over the form of Devi in this freshly cut moonstones-like form. Understood? I have given you the higher understanding of it. However, a little bit lower at the sadhana level, the understanding will be that you see Devi, the Vigraha of Devi, which is made up of freshly cut moonstone. And you observe and serve and have devotion for such a form of Devi. Offer your rituals, offer your whatever you have in your heart, you offer that and interact with such a form, you will be blessed with sweetness of expression of your ideas. And These ideas will not be just sweet, they will be value laden, always ready to deliver something more than the words themselves. So there are poetic expressions where there is no depth in it, but read these kind of poets who have gained this capacity of creation. For example, Kalidas. Why he is known as Kalidas? Kalidas because he gained this capacity by the blessing of Ma Kali. That is why he is known as Kalidas. This is said in a very concise way. Sakarta kavyanam bhavati pachobhir vagdevi vadan kamala moda madhurai. Sweetness, such sweet voice, and delightful as the fragrance of Saraswati's mouth. That is what it is said. So for today, this much. By focusing on this form of Devi, we kind of achieve those powers of creating beauty in our expression. But now, much more than what we experienced earlier. Understood? By the way, you know Kavi as only a poet. You see? Kavi, what do you know? What do you know of the word Kavi? Kavi means what? Kavi means poet. Is it? No, Kavi is not only poet. Go and listen, go and find out what Kavi means. Kavi means a seer. Kavi means a master. Kavi means master of a subject. Kavi means the knower of the truth. Kavi means Purusha in the Sankhya philosophy. Kavi means so many things. Kavi does not mean only poet. Right? So Kavi, when we say Kavitva, Kavitva does not mean this Kavitva is only of writing poems and epics. Kavitva means knowing anything upon which you concentrate. Whatever you stumble upon, you know about it. As simple as that. Without having traveled around the globe, our rishis told that earth is a ball. Our rishis told long back, earth is a ball which revolves around the sun. It takes 365 1/4 days to revolve. And Saturn takes 19 years, 6 months, these many days, 2 minutes, and so on and so forth to revolve. Not having anything, not having any equipments. Recognize this, then only you would know what is the power of self. Now, one thing more which you must keep in mind. Sometimes we ourselves create a distance between the object of our devotion and self. Right? Maybe many reasons, impurity of heart, as I said, many at times. And that is why I always say, those who have impurity of heart, those who have not been able to control their senses, should refrain from Devi Bhakti. Right? But the first step towards it, that a man, especially men I'm talking, a man who is still getting to bhoga vritti upon seeing a woman form is not the right candidate for it. Which means the woman form should be seen as a subject of joy, worship, and a divine expression. If that happens, you come in a real state of achieving. But does that mean that you will not be able to engage in your life for any sensual pleasure? Well, you may. Again, seeing the life as the source of joy, respect, divinity, whatever you have. Not owning it, not having power over it. Only as a blessing you receive everything. Understand? Even your body you have received as a blessing from a woman. So every one of us has received this body from a woman. right? And therefore, woman is being respected for all her powers and all her capacities, even if that is to give you any sensual pleasure. That is also her grace upon you. That's not your right, by the way. Understand? Okay. Coming back to the vicinity part, which I was saying, that you separate yourself from your deity, your object of devotion, a little bit. In this case, in this shloka, it should be specially taken note of that when you imagine Devi here, you have to imagine Devi putting her hand on your head, placing her hand on your head. This is what is this imagination with this form. Now try to understand. How do you feel with a pure heart in this case? How do you respond to this situation if you are in pure heart about it? Understand what I mean? So this is what is needed. You have to first purify yourself. Chitta Shuddhi, Indriya Shuddhi, Indriya Nigraha, Nadi Shuddhi, Tattva Shuddhi, Vak Shuddhi, every Shuddhi. What will purify you is knowledge of the fact that this life in enjoyment consumes us. The world consumes us. In enjoyment of sensual and any pleasure for that matter. If you think you are eating your food, in fact, the food is eating you. Understand? If you are engaging in this world, you are being consumed by the world. Right? Recognizing this will help you conserve yourself. Come to a state of natural pratyahara. I'm not saying that you'll become complete brahmachari or complete ascetic there. No. But you will learn the importance of conserving yourself and spending you with some moderation. You are spending yourself by them. Don't think you are gaining anything. You are getting consumed by the world. Now, having recognized this and having experienced your own being, you can work on any of the attitudes. Why? Because you are the observer of every attitude. You know the flaws and the merits of any attitude you carry as an impartial observer here, right? As a third person view of your own self. But remember, you must not condemn yourself for anything, but you should work on it. You should not blame yourself for what you are. Simply work on it. Admit and work on it. With a smile on your face, with the confidence and faith in your heart, you will work on it. You'll not blame yourself for whatever you have been. You have been whatever you have been. You have done whatever you have done. You are whatever you are. You recognize this is what you are. Now you need to work on it. Nothing to go back and start analyzing. ऐसा नहीं किया होता तो ऐसा होता वैसा. It's already done. भूत को लाएंगे तो फिर पंचमहाभूत से दूर हो जाएंगे. ठीक है. भूत को छोड़ दे, अभी काम करें, बिल्कुल ठीक हो जाएगा. ठीक है. फिर कोई भी पाठ करे, विष्णु सहस्त्र नाम करे, फिर चाहे महामृत्युंजय करें, फिर यदि आप यज्ञोपवीत धारण करते हैं तो गायत्री करें, और व्हाटएवर जो भी करें. राम राम जपे, कृष्ण कृष्ण जपे, सीताराम सीताराम जपे, जय श्री राम जपे, राधे राधे जपे, सबसे होता है. शिवोहम.